at some point there has to be an explosion of offense.
Marcus Spears is picking the Falcons.
This should be the night that the Falcons finally finish a damn game.
Gurley, left side, touchdown Atlanta. And the Falcons are headed to their second win of the year.
All right, Marcus, they did it for you. The Falcons finally got you that win. You picked them a couple times. They let you down, but not last night.
Yes! I knew it, Els. I knew it. At some point, this team actually should be 5-3 if you think about the way they've lost 3 of these games that they've lost this year. And finally, they took a lead and they closed the game out with an interception. Brought pressure, got to Teddy and made Teddy force a bad throw. But you see it here. You see the Cowboy game, pick up the ball, that's a win. You don't leave a man wide open in the middle of the field and you get a W against them. And then Todd Gurley, we all know that you cannot not score touchdowns when you play in the running back spot. But this should have been a win as well. So when you look at last night and you think about where Atlanta is offensively, Julio showed up big. That's what we expect. Matt Ryan played well. I don't know what the status is on Calvin Ridley, but that could be huge going down the road. But if you look at this Atlanta team, they are scary offensively. Now, their offensive line is something left to be desired. We all know that. But this team has put up points in all of those games that they've lost or either stayed close and kept it close. And finally, they get a game-sealing interception last night to close out a win. That's what we needed to see. We needed the curse to be gone, Els.
I think they did it for you. And by the way, this was Matt Ryan's first victory without a passing touchdown since week 5 of the 2015 season. So there you go. All right, let's get to the Patriots and Bills. And Cam Newton hadn't looked like the Cam that we saw earlier this season for the past few weeks. He even got benched last week. The pressure is on with the Pats record at 2-4. So he's been real candid about this week, and he spoke with the media earlier, was asked what he's learned being in that New England market. Here's what he said.
Losing is not acceptable in this locker room, in this county, in this state, in this area, in this region. So Cameron Newton, you need to pick your expletive up. That's what I've learned.
Okay, let me just say really fast. I love Cam Newton for saying that. He's pointed the finger at himself this whole time, hasn't made excuses. But either way, Marcus, against this Bills team, you're going to see Cam Newton out there to start. But if it doesn't go well, how long can he stick in the game? How long can Belichick leave him in there?
Oh, eventually, if it goes like we saw against the 49ers, it'll be quick. Because at some point, you got to get Jarrett Stidham in there. And maybe they know what Jarrett Stidham has or they don't, and they have to give him a look and give him real time in a football game. Because the bottom line is Cam should be pointing the finger at himself because Cam has been doing some terrible, atrocious things with the football. 3 interceptions, and he only threw 15 passes the last time we saw him. That's 1 in every 5. I'm no math guru, but that's easy for me to divide 3 into 15. That ain't going to get it done. We saw him get set in that game, and Jarrett Stidham come in. If Cam starts this game off bad, look for Bill Belichick to make a move to Jarrett Stidham, to see what he has, and even to put Jarrett Stidham out there for the 31 other teams that may be wanting to find either a backup quarterback or a guy that can keep the boat afloat if things happen or transpire throughout the league. So now you get into playing with personnel, and we're looking at a trade deadline Tuesday. Cam doesn't play well, doesn't start well, has a bad first quarter, second quarter. We'll see Jarrett Stidham in there real quick.
If Jarrett Stidham's in the game, the boat will sink, Marcus. It's not going to stay afloat. And the 31 teams probably won't be watching because they also know what Jarrett Stidham is. But when I'm listening to Cam Newton go through that whole thing about what's not acceptable in all the regions and cities and counties of Foxborough, Massachusetts, or wherever he's talking about, it sounds like something that was written by an angry fan. I don't know if it was Matt Damon, Ben Affleck, or the Wahlbergs who wrote that, but it seems like Cam is listening to some of the things that are going on around him. But he's absolutely right. This is all going to be pointed at Cam Newton. Cam Newton is the guy replacing the GOAT. And you're starting to hear the things, well, they had these same weapons last year, but they still won 12 games. They aren't the same weapons, and they aren't the weapons that are being utilized the same way. And Cam Newton hasn't been the same since returning from the coronavirus absence. And so if he doesn't go out and play well this week, if they can't find some sort of offense, Cam Newton won't only be talking about the end of his stint in New England, he'll be talking about maybe the end of his stint as a starting quarterback in the NFL. I know Jarrett Stidham isn't the answer, but if they have to move on to Jarrett Stidham, this signifies not only the end of the season for Cam Newton and the end of his stint as a starter, this signifies the end of the New England Patriots actually trying to win games and get into the playoffs. That's what's riding on this Buffalo Bills game. So they better come out ready and they better play well.
Well, and if you think about this offense, guys, you don't have Julian Edelman, who's been a reliable target for Cam Newton, and you also don't have N'Keal Harry now either. So both of those guys out. So, Mina, that's one thing. And then you look at how this offense is constructed and what it's looked like even in recent years, even when Tom Brady was there. Bill Belichick's the GM of this team. How much goes to blame on his shoulders?
Whew. Okay. Bill Belichick is not above reproach. He's made mistakes. I just want to throw that out there, right? N'Keal Harry, obviously, not the greatest draft pick, Sony Michel. But the scariest thing I've seen on Halloween today is people saying that he should be fired as GM or that he's not, a great GM because of this one season. I mean, we're talking about the man who traded a bag of chips for Randy Moss and Aqib Talib, who drafted Joe Thuney, Shaq Mason. I mean, the list goes on. It's very hard in the NFL to be competitive every single season and stay on top when you're a winning team. The Patriots came into this season and because of opt-outs for COVID, and a free agency, lost more defensive talent than any team of the last 20 years. So I am not putting one season as this huge blemish on Bill Belichick's record. Now, again, that's not absolving him. Clearly, his man's made some mistakes. But give me a break. He's still Bill Belichick.
Oh, let's sing all ye praises of Bill Belichick, who never makes a mistake. I want tonight, please. Hey, listen, no, I'm not letting it happen. Listen, because I played in Pittsburgh, and I didn't play with Bill Belichick. I didn't play with a coach that won 6 championships, but I did play for a coach who's never had a losing season. And every time the Pittsburgh Steelers aren't doing great, it's a total indictment on who Mike Tomlin is as a coach. I don't care about Bill Belichick, the GM. He ain't never got to draft another player. But let's talk about Bill Belichick, the coach. Bill Belichick, the coach who forgets to throw the red flag when he should be challenging so he can get the ball in Kansas City territory when there is a clear fumble, who misses that because he's arguing another call. The Bill Belichick who was clearly outcoached by Kyle Shanahan last week. And I know he's missing people. Guess who else is missing people? Kyle Shanahan. So, yes, we have to talk a little bit about Bill Belichick's failures this year. We're going to have to talk about it at the end of the season, that even though he is the GOAT, the greatest of all time that's ever been on the sideline, he is not perfect. And this year is a perfect example of it. I don't think this shows that Tom Brady was more important to the dynasty than anybody else. But what it does show is that you need players. It shows that players are more important. And I don't care if it's the triangle offense or I don't care if it's the fire zone blitz. You can draw it up on a piece of paper, but if you ain't got the dudes, you ain't got the dudes. He doesn't have the dudes, but they also don't look prepared. So the GM, okay, we might give him a pass, but the coach, he getting whipped this year.
I'm not gonna let you do it, Ryan. I'm not gonna let you do it. I know you want to do it.
Can't let me.
But
You
I'm not
can't
gonna let
stop
you
me.
do it because extenuating circumstances that were unforeseen in this particular situation.
Thank you.
Is the reason. All right, we gotta at least acknowledge that. I agree with you. He can have coaching flubs and things can be bad and certain. Ryan, Pittsburgh had the number 1 defense in the league, bro. Like, come on, man. Come on, don't act like this is the same. Don't act like this the same, man. Don't you do that. You're not going to do that today because I know you, Ryan Clark. I've been with you. You forgot I've been with you since I was a little kid walking on LSU campus. I understand what you're trying to do.
You wasn't never Lil.
To be a Belichick.
You wasn't never Lil.
you were my little big brother. I was the big younger brother. Anyway, when we start having this conversation.
Ryan Clark going
Go
after
ahead,
Derrick Henry, Bill Belichick. Next week, he's going to go after puppies. I can't wait.
Oh, he better not.
Ryan,
you better
donuts.
Dang.
I like puppies. I like puppies and donuts. I like Bill Belichick.
All right,
but I
so
just don't know
puppies
why
and
I can't say nothing bad
donuts.
about
Puppies and donuts are safe, but nobody else is. And we've established that you don't like Bill Belichick either. Anyway, we'll see how all this ends up. Yeah, but see, I got the last word, so you can say you like him, but I said you didn't like him. All right, we got more coming your way on NFL Live. How about this? The NFC West, the only division in football in